Hi, I'm Eduardo AI, and this is the Millionaire Tax Fight. My recent essay supporting Zohran Mamdani's objective to tax the rich of New York City ran into criticism. Some of it is reasonable. It is true that the big bad problem I identified in the tax code, which allows the very rich to live tax-free off their capital gains, is a federal challenge. It is not something a mayor can fix. The other complaint that raising taxes at the top will cause New York's oligarchs to flee the city en masse is hogwash. The fear that New York will lose its billionaires seems pretty popular. Governor Kathy Hochul brought it up to justify her opposition to Mamdani's original push, since dropped, to raise income taxes on the very rich. The oligarchs keep repeating it. Following Mamdani's win in the Democratic primary last summer, Bill Ackman, the verbally incontinent hedge fund mogul, claimed that businesses and the rich have already started making arrangements for the exits. After Mamdani pissed off financier Ken Griffin by pointing to his $238 million Central Park South penthouse to justify his plan to impose a tax on $5 million plus homes owned by non-residents in the city, Trump chimed in, "You don't want to lose people like Ken. That would be a big loss for New York." Ken, Trump may have known, resides not in New York but in Florida, which is why it made sense for Mamdani to showcase his Manhattan penthouse to announce a tax on non-residents' fancy pied-à-terres. But the truth is, most oligarchs never leave. New York hits the rich with what is probably the highest income tax rate in the nation. The top state tax is 10.9%, on top of which the city adds 3.9%. Despite the expense, last year New York State was home to 137 billionaires, according to Forbes, 1 out of 6 billionaires in the nation. This was only second to California, which is also another high-tax state. In 2020, a market research firm called Phoenix estimated that there were 7.52 millionaires for every 100 residents of New York State, putting it in 12th place among the nation's 50. By contrast, Florida, the low-tax state that every millionaire threatens to move to, had only 5.87 millionaires per 100 people, falling in 27th place. Cristobal Young, a sociologist at Cornell that researches precisely what the rich do in response to taxes, concluded that the richest New Yorkers don't move to low-tax Florida. They move to high-tax Connecticut, followed by New Jersey and California. All three have a millionaire tax. Only about 2.4% of millionaires move each year, and only a fraction of those moves reduce their taxes, Young wrote. Overall tax migration ends up being a small fraction of a small fraction. Who knows why the rich like New York City so much, but they do. Perhaps it's because they can flaunt terraces overlooking Central Park and take limos to the Metropolitan Opera and the Museum of Modern Art, eat at some of the finest restaurants in the world, and hobnob with other plutocrats, never to see a hungry rat. Indeed, if New York City has an out-migration problem, it is about the out-migration of lowly paid workers who cannot afford to live within many miles of Central Park and must spend hours on public transportation every day if they are fortunate enough to have a job anywhere near there. Actually, Donald Trump probably built the best body of evidence that the rich won't flee. The gargantuan tax cut bill he passed during his first term removed the state and local tax deduction from federal taxes. At a stroke, New York millionaires' tax bill shot up. Did they leave? Nope. Resistance to Mamdani's tax proposals has been monumental. His original proposal to raise income taxes on the very rich was shot down by Hochul. He also had to abandon plans to raise property taxes across the board, a more dubious idea given the lack of affordable housing in the city. The only proposal that may make it through to fruition is the comparatively modest idea to tax swanky second homes. I understand it is an uphill battle. Still, I will repeat myself and give Mamdani another shout-out for his efforts to tax New York's super rich. If he doesn't do it, it seems nobody will. This has been Eduardo AI. Thanks for watching.